So if you are just getting started on your journey as a wedding and portrait photographer and you're just struggling a little bit with like feeling confident in your work, then this is the video for you.
Today's video is really all about 5 reasons why Sarah and I believe that the best thing you can do for a new photography business, more than marketing yourself or upgrading your gear, is just getting out there and getting some reps.
But before we jump into that, we want to introduce ourselves.
I'm Hunter.
And I'm Sarah.
And we're Hunter and Sarah Photography, a professional husband and wife wedding photography team.
We're also educators, and our goal is to help photographers to build strong foundations in both their businesses and their personal lives so that they can run profitable and sustainable photography businesses.
So if you are pretty new to your photography journey, but are getting out and shooting at every opportunity you can, then this video is really just going to be an encouragement to keep doing what you're doing and maybe why what you're doing is going to be so helpful for you in the long run.
Yeah. But if you say that you want to grow your photography business, but you're just like lounging on the sidelines, waiting for these well-paying clients to come to you, then we hope that this video is going to spark, that little bit that you need to get change the trajectory in your business.
And so in that spirit, this video is really 5 things that you get every time you go out and shoot, regardless of how much money you're making, or even if you're getting paid to go do that shoot at all.
Yeah, and before we jump in, here's just another way to kind of look at that list. These are 5 reasons why you should keep your prices a bit lower than what you're worth when you're first getting started, because going out and getting those reps can be just or even more valuable as the money that you're going to make. So let's jump on in.
So as might seem obvious to you, the very first thing you gain each time you go out and shoot is the actual experience of going out and shooting, right? Duh. But another way to think about this is that every time you get out and shoot, you're basically practicing for that next shoot.
Yeah, just like working out strengthens all of your muscles over time. All aspects of photography, whether it's setting your settings properly, posing your clients, or just like finding a creative composure for your imagery, are like muscles. They get stronger each time you go out and you use them.
So while education and learning from people like Sarah and I is a super important aspect of growth, if you don't eventually take what you've learned and just get out there and put it into practice, maybe you try one new skill each time you go out, or maybe you, concentrate on one aspect of your photography that you're going to really improve during this session, then honestly, it's going to be hard to continue growing as a photographer over time.
Yeah, and just like with working out, no one goes out, does some sit-ups, and walks up the next day with a 6-pack. Like, people who commit to the diet and the exercise and they stick to it for weeks and months, those are the people who are going to see results. So what if you looked at photography the same way, like a muscle that needs to be trained?
So that leads really perfectly right into the second benefit you get from shooting that you just cannot put a price tag on, and that's confidence.
Yeah, one of the most common struggles that we hear from newer photographers,
and really what this whole video is about in a way,
is imposter syndrome. The feeling that no matter how much you grow and learn as a photographer, that you're not, a real photographer, and you don't deserve to be getting paid what you get paid, or you don't deserve whatever success you've achieved.
And if this sounds like you are basically just waiting for your clients to discover that you're not a real photographer, whatever that means, and they're just gonna freak out when they find out. If that sounds like you, then really the only way to stop feeling like an imposter behind the camera or as a business owner is, again, to put in the hours, to go out, to get the reps, and learn from past mistakes, because that confidence will build over time.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, only time and experience are gonna breed confidence. Yeah. There's a little bit of fake it till you make it, but the more you get out and the more that you shoot, the more likely you are going to encounter those difficult situations or wacky experiences, like wedding day schedules that just completely implode, or a family portrait session that just goes off the rails. The only way to feel confident ahead of these situations is sometimes to just experience them once, learn how to handle them, so that way when the next time comes around, you're ready.
And at this point in our career, Sarah and I have booked and photographed around 150 weddings, right? So when we step onto a wedding day, you better believe that we feel like we are in our element, like we are in control, and that we are confident that we are going to deliver some beautiful high-end imagery to our clients. But if you went back in time and asked us how we felt on our first wedding or our third wedding or maybe even our 10th wedding, it probably would have been much more anxious and nervous and not really all that confident in our abilities. But confidence, again, is one of those things that really does come with time and experience.
Yeah. And speaking of confidence, you probably know that whatever you end up charging for your photography, you need to be confident in your own pricing, or no one will ever be convinced to buy from you. Yeah. That's why last month, Hunter and I hosted a workshop called Pricing for Wedding and Portrait Photographers, How to Know What to Charge to Get Booked. If this sounds like the kind of workshop that would help you and your business, the replay of that entire workshop and all of our pricing secrets is available for purchase at the link in the description of this video.
Because the thing is, it's okay to do some free sessions when you're first getting started, or maybe, for a little while you're undercharging for your services. That's honestly what this whole video is about, is some of the benefits of doing that so you can grow quickly as a new photographer. But eventually you do need to understand how to price yourself appropriately. And if the thought of figuring out what that means to price yourself appropriately for your market and your skill level just feels overwhelming and confusing, then we really would encourage you to check out the workshop. Like Sarah said, the link is in the description of this video.
Yeah. The third benefit of
switching gears back to our list
of just getting out there and shooting is improving your portfolio. Each photo shoot or wedding that you photograph has the potential to build your portfolio into something stronger than it once was.
And this is especially true early in your career, right? And when I think back to our first couple of years, it felt like every time we walked out of the house with our cameras to do a photo shoot, we were shooting at least one image from that session or from that wedding day that was like, oh my gosh, this is like top 10 image we've ever taken. And it felt like we were updating our portfolio like at least every single month, if not sometimes even more frequently.
Yeah, and even today, we still make sure that we update our portfolio at the end of each wedding season because we're still growing photographers. We're still shooting new content and new couples week in and week out. But when you are first getting started, building a robust and diverse portfolio of work is essential to booking future jobs and, the key, being able to raise your prices over time.
Okay, so number 4 is word of mouth buzz. And every time you go out and take photos, whether you're getting paid or you're taking them for free, you're doing it for a friend for a discount, when your clients post those photos to social media and then they tag you or they just thank you in the comments or whatever, suddenly your images and your business are not just in front of your Facebook friends or your Instagram followers, but in front of your clients' Facebook friends and Instagram followers as well.
Yeah, so if you saw any of our videos in our video series called 10 Free Marketing Tactics for Photographers, you know that we talk a lot about generating organic buzz around your photography by playing into your own personal network as well as the network of your clients.
So in part 7 of that video series,
the link of which is here.
We talked about how in our first 5 years as wedding photographers, word of mouth referrals from our network and from the networks of our friends and family or the people who we were photographing was our biggest source of wedding bookings in 4 of those first 5 years. And it added up to just shy of $100,000 of weddings that we booked in that first 5 years. And we know anecdotally that a lot of those couples who found us and said that it was from a word of mouth referral said something like, oh yeah, you shot so-and-so's wedding and I saw their photos on Instagram, or oh my gosh, yeah, when so-and-so showed us their family photos, like we knew that we had to book you.
Mm-hmm. And this actually leads into our last benefit of shooting that is not money, just looking busy. This may not seem like an asset to your business, but projecting yourself as an in-demand photographer can actually become a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right, because you probably know this intuitively, that humans basically want what we can't have, right? Diamonds and gold are valuable, not just because they're pretty, but also because they're rare, right? If that wasn't the case, then as soon as humans figured out how to make fake diamonds or how to paint other metals gold, diamonds and gold would have lost their value, but they didn't. They're still really valuable, even though you can make something that looks identical for way cheaper. It's the rarity, it's the fact that they are in demand and supply is short that makes them so valuable.
So the thing is, say I'm a mom and I am thinking about getting a family session, and as I'm scrolling through my Instagram, I see you posting new work for like the 3rd time this week. I'm going to think to myself like, wow, this photographer is just always shooting. They must be booking like crazy. Subconsciously, I'm actually thinking they must actually be valuable. Other people want them. And I might even reach out right away because I want to get on your schedule before you get completely booked up.
Right? We associate in demand with of high value. So the thing is, this is true no matter how much you're charging for those sessions, right? You could be posting 3 free sessions a week and people are going to look at you and go, wow, they must be in demand. They must be of high value, right? So where do we go from here? if you are now convinced that you want to get out and shoot more, but you just like don't know how to book those first few sessions, or you booked a handful, but you don't really know how to grow, like, we feel you. We absolutely remember what it was like to just be getting started and to want so badly to grow your business, but just not really knowing where to start or how to get those jobs.
Yeah, but we also know that the number one best thing that you can do in these super early days of your business is to just get out there and shoot as much as you can. So here are just like a few quick ideas on how to do that.
So if you are literally at like step one in your business, if you are at square one and don't really have any portrait portfolio to speak of, then start by reaching out directly to your friends and family. Literally text them, call them, whatever, beg them if you have to let them, for them to let you take their photos, right?
Yeah,
just get those, or hey, I'll send you them for free. I just really need some practice, right?
Yeah. Then once you've kind of done a handful of stuff for friends and for family, post a model call on your social media and engage your like wider personal network. Say you're looking to experiment with new posing, maybe experiment with some new locations. So for a limited time, you are going to offer sessions for free to a select number of whatever it is you want to shoot, family, couples, seniors, and use those sessions to keep growing and getting those 5 things that we just talked about.
Then you can ease your way into charging, right? Maybe you start with mini sessions so you can keep your price really low. Maybe you offer some sort of fall special to incentivize, people to book and start getting those first paid sessions. And of course, like we mentioned, we have a whole series called 10 Free Marketing Tactics for Photographers, which is maybe sort of the next step that you would start taking.
Yeah. And over time, you'll get to a place in your business where these things just aren't quite as important to you anymore.
There comes a point when the money is, the shoots are more about the money, right?
Yeah. By like year 3 or 4 in our business, we still appreciated the shooting. We still appreciating that shooting grew our portfolio and exposed us to our clients' networks. But at that point, we were more concerned about growing a like profitable business than we were about gaining those confidence or those reps. So it was more about the money.
But early in the game, sure, maybe you could charge $150 and, book a couple sessions a month, but it might make more sense for you in this season to charge $100 and book 2 sessions a week, right? The exact numbers aren't important. Maybe it's you could charge 50, but instead you're doing it for free. The idea is that sometimes intentionally undervaluing yourself a little bit is one of the best things that you can do because of those other 5 things we talked about, all the benefits that come from just getting out, growing by shooting, and getting those reps.
But that's it for this week.
Guys, thanks for watching. We really do hope this video has convinced you to just get out and shoot no matter what season of your business that you're in.
Yeah, and as a reminder, if you'd like to learn more or to access our Pricing for Portrait and Wedding Photographers workshop, the link to purchase the recording is in the description below.
Everything we talked about today, we covered in that workshop and so much more. This was a 2-hour workshop with a ton of helpful information. Now, if you are not quite ready to go the workshop route, if you're not quite ready to invest in photography education, but you do want to be a part of a community of other photographers who are growing their businesses, then we would encourage you to join the Facebook community that Sarah and I run called Mastering the Wedding Photography Biz with Hunter and Sarah. In that community, we are just helping photographers grow their businesses as we all help each other in that same sort of phase of business.
Yep. And as per usual, if you found this video helpful, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to comment below with any thoughts or questions.
Or just say hello.
Hi.
All right, guys. See you next week.